Hi, I'm Addie Owens, and I've been a broker owner for the last decade, and I've been in real estate for the last 20 years. I teach for Florida Realtors, the Residential Real Estate Council, and Touchstone Real Estate. If you found this video, you probably have your own broker. Make sure you always ask your broker what their preferences are. I appreciate you watching this video, but your broker overrides everything that I say here. So let's teach you how to use the extension addendum to contract. This is one of those forms that people often get wrong. When a contract, the closing date needs to be extended, right? It happens. Or the inspection period needs to be extended. It happens. Or the financing isn't necessarily going as planned and you've got to adjust, but you need a little bit more time. The extension addendum to contract adjusts for all of those things. It might be one, it might be all, it might be one or two, there might be a variation. Either way, using a blank addendum is the wrong way to do it. Using the extension addendum is the right way to do it. So let's go through that document. Here we go. All right, first things first, we don't write contracts, we fill in the blanks. These contracts have already been prepared by qualified Florida attorneys. So when we use this contract, we're filling in those blanks. And the very first blank that we're going to fill in is the effective date of the contract. The second blank, the seller, as it is written in the contract itself, and the same for the buyer. Don't mix up the names here, don't change things, don't abbreviate. They have to be referenced exactly how they're written in their contracts, which should be in their full legal name. And then of course, the legal address of the property, which should also match the contract. I know that sounds pretty simple, but let's face it, sometimes we make simple things really, really difficult. All right, so first blank, you've got your closing date, right? Okay, we're gonna extend the closing date to what date? First, check the box, and then of course, fill in the blank. But why are we extending? If the closing date is extended, there's usually a reason behind it. So, is it for financing? Is it for the inspection period? Do we have a title issue? Are we waiting for short sale approval? Or did maybe the buyer's property not necessarily sell in time and we're giving them a little bit more time? Or maybe is there some more due diligence? So whatever that reason being, make sure you follow up with the appropriate boxes. So if you're extending the closing date because the buyer's mortgage has not yet finished underwriting, you're going to need to check that box for financing and then give yourself the appropriate amount of time for that financing period to be extended. If it's for the inspection period, let's say you need 1 or 2 more days for the inspection period. The right way to do it is by using this form. It's not by sending the listing agent an email and saying, hey, by the way, we need to extend the inspection period. Is that okay? Even if they put it in the email that it's okay, you still need this document filled out. Perhaps it's a title cure period. Both the as-is and the standard contract have language within there for title cure periods as far as being able to cancel the contract. But if you need a little bit more time, perhaps there's an open permit that needs to be closed out. This gives the contract a little bit more time to close and take into consideration that title cure period. Now, we don't do short sales a lot right now, although they are increasing. But sometimes if you haven't filled out the proper short sale addendum, or it needs to be, if the short sale approval needs to be extended, this is where you would use that form. The sale and lease of the buyer's property. So the buyer wanted to sell their property and it's the contract that they're in with the seller is contingent upon the sale of their property. But the seller's okay if they need to take a little bit more time because the buyer is very invested in the purchase of their property. So you might agree to extend that timeline just a little bit. Perhaps they're delayed on their side as far as closing is concerned. Maybe their buyer has a financing issue or an inspection issue, or perhaps there's a repair issue that needs to be taken care of. This is where you would check that box and add however many days or until an actual hard date. I like to use hard dates rather than additional days because days, even though we have it well defined in our contracts, either calendar or business days, people like to argue about it, and buyers and sellers usually don't understand to the fullest extent how those dates are calculated. So I like to give a hard date. And of course, due diligence period. This could be on a commercial contract if you've got, if you need to extend that due diligence period. Perhaps there's a phase 1 or phase 2 study that needs to be done. Maybe they're going through planning and zoning to get entitlements on a property, those sorts of things that might need to be taken into consideration where there's unexpected delays. This form handles all of those things. So I hope this video has helped. I know that there's a lot of forms out there and sometimes they're a little bit confusing, but there is practically a form for almost every single situation available to us in our Florida Realtors Library. And this is one of those forms that people often forget. And you'd be surprised. I've seen a lot of things written in those blank addendum areas. What is it, section 21? Yeah, there's a lot of colorful language that gets people into trouble. So if there's a form, make sure to use it, and especially the extension addendum to contract. I'm Addie Owens, and if you found this video helpful, click like and subscribe. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.